Okay, it's Friday the 13th. This is what I've got done, and this shit's so thin, I'm blowing right through it. I've got the temperature set as low as I can where it doesn't just pile up and I get a pretty good weld, but some of it's really thin and I'm just blowing right through it. I've got, in spots I've got quite a bit welded and ground down, and then, added some more and ground it down. But that quarter's in there, and I figured out why everything was in such a bind, because this was bubbled way too far out for some reason. So I cut this out again, and then I cut down here and relieve some pressure off it, and then I cut down here, and everything lines up now. It ain't got that weird dent in it no more, so I mean, it ain't going to, because this is a whole new place. But what was causing it was this was pushing up and this was pushing down, and whenever I welded it, it just got hot enough and pushed it all in. So that's all I can figure out, because when I started putting this one in, it started binding up and wanting to warp here again. I mean, see, you can see that it's caused an oil can there that I'm gonna have to figure out how to fix. And I'll probably go through and cut all these welds out again and figure out what the hell's going on with that and get it de-stressed. But I was gonna record all this. I've got a gap there that I've got to figure out, hammer it out, pull it out, do something with it. Hammer the outside down, fill it with Bondo, something. But instead of hitting the record button, I hit the picture button, forgot to move it to a video. So anyway, that's what I got today. I've been here about 5 hours, and I'm tired. So I'll come back. I'll see if I can come back tomorrow and see what I can get done tomorrow and try to push the record button tomorrow. All right, we'll talk to you later. Okay, it is Sunday the 22nd. I'm up here at the shop. This is what I've gotten done today. Got all that welded up almost to the front. And then I've got it welded down on the back side. I'm finally starting to figure it out. These had a gap that I had to fill up, so they're kind of, I sped the wire up a little bit, so they're a little tall. But I'm figuring it out. Some of this stuff that's really piled up is where I ground on the edges here, and it got too thin and it just blows it out. So I have to build it out to the side, and everybody knows the drill. I mean, some of them gaps are pretty wide. I've got that copper thing that I put behind them, but sometimes it still blows out. So doing what I can. It's not caved in like it did the first time. I went ahead and cut this one and re-welded it, and it'll grind down, and it'll cover up a lot easier with Bondo. It won't have a 1/4 inch gap there. I think I'm going to do the same to the front and just cut it down, and then pull it out and hammer it out and re-weld it. I've still got this to weld right here, and then below that, I cut that all the way down to the bottom because it had shrunk in there or expanded or whatever it's doing, where it caved in. And anyway, that's what I've got so far. That's an all-day deal for me. I've done about all I can do today. So I guess I'm gonna get off of here, and we'll talk to y'all later. Okay, it is the last day of March. I've been up here at the shop all day. I got that welded all the way to the top. And then I've got it welded all the way back to this one outer fender patch. I've got that little bit right there to weld. I've got a few touch-ups, you know, the holes where I had my Cleco clamps. You know, little spot welds right here and there. I've got a few places that I've missed and I've got to go back and get. But that fender is almost done and grind down. I did real good on this bottom part right here. It turned out freaking good. Thank God I'm starting to figure this crap out. Yeah, that's not going to take a whole lot of Bondo right there at all. But this piece right here, it looks curved in the camera. It is not. It's just the distance from here to here, but it's going to take a little bit of Bondo there, I'm sure. And then I've got that little bit to weld right there, but this fender is almost done. I've got the bottom down here to weld. I've got to spot weld that piece. I've got to trim it off because they were different lengths. I don't know why. And then I've got to do something about this right here because it pulled up in there when I welded it the first time. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to fix that. But other than that, the weld I did today, it looks freaking good. I'm happy. I'm not upset with the way it looks. It doesn't look half-assed. But anyway, that's it for today. As I've told y'all before, I can only do so much and then I have to stop because of my health. I can't, you know, I won't be able to walk when I get home. I'll be taking my painkillers and sitting in my chair and praying to God that I can get up out of my chair to go to bed tonight. Anyway, we'll talk to you guys later. I'm sure I'm going to combine this with the rest of my video. I'm going to post this when I get the whole thing done, which, you know, will probably be another week. So I'm doing it as fast as I can, guys. All I can ask for is to keep me in your prayers, and we'll talk to you guys later. Okay, I'm at the shop here today. It is April 7th. I've got this all welded up. All I've got to do is go back and catch some pinholes and grind them down. I've got to spot weld the plug welds right around the fender well and on the bottom there, and then it's going to be time to get the 80 grit out and knock all this paint off and all the sealer that came on them parts, get that all off, and put some fiberglass filler on it in all the weld spots right here, because, you know, just to help with it a little bit. It'll fill a bigger puddle, but this side is just about done. I've got, you know, still got the Cleco pinholes that I've got to tack in, and then I'm getting a flashlight and going inside and finding all the holes, you know, where I guess flux gets in there and it doesn't fill in. I got to go fill all these in and come back and you know, grind them out, smooth them out. And then this side will be done. I'll be ready to start on the other side. I'm gonna spend a little more time cleaning up the other side. This side I didn't know, you know, everything I was supposed to do. And, you know, I just kind of threw it together. But like I said, it's just for me. I'm just gonna fix it for me to drive it. You know, might, like I said, my son might drive it. But right now it's just for me. I've got a little bit of dolly work to do down here. I've got this spot where it's not caved in no more. I don't know what was causing that. I've still got to weld this piece under here and get that all pulled up, and spot weld that to the trunk drop down. But like I said, it's spot welds and grinding right now is all I've got, and then Bondo work. But there's it for today. I'm gonna go ahead and post this with the other 3 or 4 short videos that I have. This is probably a little over a month's worth of work for me. Like I said, I can't do much. I'm sitting here right now with my back spasming. I'm just having a hell of a time getting around these days. Arthritis, and then you know, just I'm not able to walk, so I'm not able to exercise. I mean, I can walk, but not well. I can't sit very long. I can't stand very long. Can't lay down very long. I'm lucky if I get 5 or 6 hours sleep a night. But anyway, like I said, all I got's left is the plug welds, and you know, a few spot welds that, you know, to weld up pinholes and shit. That's not a hole. It's just a spot that I didn't grind off because, you know, it's pretty freaking smooth. You know, Bondo will fill it up, and it's probably not even 1/8 of an inch there. I've got some stuff that, you know, looks a little tall. Some of it looks a little low. You know, it's just gonna take time. Like I said, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, so this is the first time for me, you know. I put this piece on before and absolutely didn't know what I was doing, but you know, like I said, I watched some videos and thought, maybe I can do that. And the videos definitely helped. If you don't know what you're doing, go watch some of these videos. They'll show you some tricks that'll get you through this a lot better. Like I said, I'm no welder. I'm finally starting to figure this out where I'm not burning through it, you know, right away. I'm not warping the crap out of it. And I mean, this is off a 74 Nova, and I just cut it out and added it in, you know, and ground it down. Got it where it's supposed to be. The other side, I've got a full length 1/2 quarter, and it comes out about right here. Goes all the way across to the front to about, you know, it goes up to probably between the door lock and the door handle, I believe is how tall that thing is. And then, you know, same back here, it's about, I'm gonna say it's about right here. But I wish I had gotten one of them for this side, but when I bought them, the place I was getting them from was, I think in Indiana. It was called the Paddock, and that's where I actually got all these pieces. So, you know, they've been out of business for over 10 years, so you know how long I've been waiting to do this, you know. But yeah, I got this piece out, and I watched Shop 209. That's all he does is Novas, and he showed me how to get them parts out, so that was pretty easy. And took the window out because I was jacking it up while I was welding next to it. You know, I was getting them welding spots in it, so I'm probably gonna have to find another window now. Either that or take it and have it polished. But yeah, I'm gonna get all this cleaned up. I've got to get up here. I don't know if that's just the paint cracking right there, but I know where I went through and got into the Bondo here, that Bondo's cracking out, so I'm gonna have to dig all that Bondo out and redo it, I guess. But as far as I know, this car was this color. It's called Gulf Green. It's not, I can't get a good light on it. It's a little lighter than what I want, but I mean, I would go back to that color. And then the top, you know, it was painted, the whole car was painted green, and then the top was painted white. And the paint code is 43 on the bottom and 41 on the top, which is Gulf Green on the bottom and antique white on the top. And then when I bought the car, it was all white. I painted it this color. It was supposed to be buckskin, and I don't know what the hell color this is, but that's what I ended up with. And I did it in lacquer. You know, it's back when lacquer was a big thing, and I didn't shoot it as thick as I probably should have, but I mean, it got sandblasted and everything out at my place. And when I paint it again, I'll paint it with something else. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for today. Like I said, I'm barely standing up right now, so I guess we'll holler at you guys later. I'll go ahead and post this tonight, and y'all have a good night, and I'll try to get back up here in the morning. All right, we'll see y'all later. Bye.